authority delegated to me by the chartering organization, St. Mary's Episcopal Church, and the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America to administer and operate Boy Scout Troop 82, Portsmouth, within the Narragansett Council. As committee chair, I declare this Court of Honor to be duly convened for the sole purpose of presenting the Eagle Scout Award to Justin Perry.
You're going to notice something unique right off the bat, and that is Justin's already wearing his Eagle patch. That's because he made Eagle back in February, but family travels and just the schedules of all the people that would be really nice to have at an Eagle Court of Honor, we decided we were going to recognize his achievement tonight, but we dubbed him, which you'll see reenacted here shortly, to Eagle Scout a couple of months ago, mainly so that he could represent himself as the Eagle that he is when he was doing a council leadership training. Yes, the eyes of the whole world will be trained on you. Let me remind you that the tradition of the Eagle is high. May you so live that this tradition will always be guided in you by the spirit of scouting, as symbolized by the candles to your left. May the Eagle badge that you will wear be symbolic of that spirit of scouting. Again, our highest congratulations. It's now time for the highlight of our program, the presentation of the Eagle Scout Award. But first, we have a few comments from some very special guest speakers. First, Mr. Carlton Johnson.
Your family, friends, and classmates at school should be proud of your accomplishments. On behalf of the National Eagle Scout Association and Narragansett Council Executive Board, it is with personal pride and pleasure that I commend you for your scouting service and Eagle rank. Your scouting colleagues in Portsmouth, friends in your district and Narragansett Council, and the National Eagle Scout Association join me in extending to you, Justin, and your family best wishes for continued success. And I signed it, Carlton Johnson, class of 1957. I have a poem that I kind of share with many of the Eagle Court of Honors, and it's titled The Eagle Scout, or commonly known, It's Only a Pin. And many of you have heard it before, but I'd like to share it with you. A fond mother watches her boy where he stands, apart from his comrades tonight, as they place on his camp-battered tunic a badge, an eagle, the emblem of right. It seems just a few short months have passed since he joined with the youngster next door. How proud he was then of his tenderfoot pin, as he told her the message it bore. But the years have gone as he struggled along to learn what the Scout law is about. He practiced them daily, the oath and the law, until now he's an Eagle Scout. You may smile in your worldly old wisdom at this and say, why, it's only a pin. But I tell you, no honors he'll gain as a man will mean quite as much to him. The red, white, and blue of the ribbon you see are the symbols of honor and truth. He has learned how to value these fine attributes in the glorious days of youth. And the outflinging wings of the eagle that rests on the breast of this knight of today are the things which will lift him above petty deeds and guide him along the right way. Yes, it's only a pin, just an Eagle Scout badge, but the heart that's beneath it beats true and will throb to the last for the things which are good. A lesson for me and for you.
We're honored to have with us President of our Town Council, Mr. James Seveny, and I think he has a few remarks for us tonight.
Town of Portsmouth, Rhode Island proclamation. Whereas, in reaching the goal of Eagle Scout, the Boy Scout has exhibited qualities we all strive to obtain, those being a good citizen, loyal, friendly, helpful, brave, trustworthy. While attaining these goals, a young man is vitally concerned with improving the quality of our environment and is committed to building better relationships among persons of all ages, religions, races, and nationalities. Whereas, Justin, in his quest to achieve the rank of Eagle Scout, worked through the Melville Pond Recreation Association and planned, organized, and constructed a fire pit and amphitheater that overlooks Melville Pond. The project called for considerable coordination between the association, the Portsmouth Department of Public Works, the local Native American Association, and the Boy Scout troop. The fire pit was built to meet the requirements to serve as a ceremonial circle for the Native Americans and was consecrated as a ceremonial circle during a ceremony in June of 2013. Whereas, the town council wishes to thank you for your outstanding contributions to both scouting and to your community, and extend sincere good wishes for the future. And now therefore be it proclaimed that the Portsmouth Town Council, not only for itself, but on behalf of all the citizens of our community, wishes to congratulate Justin B. Perry on receiving Boy Scouts' highest award, that of an Eagle Scout, on February 4th, 2014. And it's signed by me as the council president, and the town clerk, who will ensure that this gets into the town archives as a historical record. Congratulations.
He's looking a little nervous up here, and he's not nervous sitting up here. He's nervous that I'm getting up here. And I promised him I wasn't going to embarrass him, and I'm not. I promised him that it's not going to get too mushy and emotional. His mom has been away for about 6 months and just came back, and that's why we pushed this ceremony back. But over the past week in preparing for this, I think there's been a lot of mushiness going on in the family, just kind of, recognizing mom being back and honoring Justin as we prepared for this. But I just got to get clarification here. Is this correct that I get to stand here and speak about my son in his presence, and he just sits there?
He has to sit there. He has to sit there. Now, he gets a shot at the end, but he has to sit there and take it right now.
This is a wonderful ceremony. I kind of see my role here as this is all about Justin, as it should be. But I can't stand up here at this opportunity and really not recognize other parts of what brought Justin here on his journey to becoming an Eagle Scout. And there's really communities out there that we truly need to recognize. And first and foremost, it's the adults, Mr. Mostert, the Scoutmasters, Assistant Scoutmasters from Mr. Nichols, Mr. Hammond, Al back there. The adult leadership in this troop that aren't in uniform, Donna, Chris, your husband, Sal, Casilla. We came here, and Justin through 8th grade, I think, went to about 9 different schools. 2 of them in different countries with different languages and stuff. And so we really weren't settled down. And when we came here, what was he going to be doing? And he looked into Boy Scouts, and that was his niche. He absolutely, that's where he wanted to be, that's where he fit in. And in just the 3.5, 4 years, he's made Eagle. A little bit more on him making Eagle so fast in a few minutes here. But I remember going in there and, our first day, and it was the centennial of the Boy Scouts. And so there were only a couple of merit badges that they brought back in. One of them was the carpentry merit badge. And they were only going to have that for a very short period of time. And we had only a couple of weeks to get that done. And that was something special to Justin to actually do that, not just to be able to try to get his first merit badge, that was one of the old merit badges, but it also represented to him a lot about his grandfather, who served in World War II, was a policeman for a while, served over at Melville for a while, but primarily owned his construction business here on Quinnipiac Island and stuff. So that was his first merit badge. But Sal was the one of the parents who was teaching that merit badge, and it was Christmas vacation and stuff, and we were going over there nights, and he was working him through to get that merit badge in the short time that we had to do that. This troop and the adults here have just been amazing. Mr. Nichols was Justin, I don't want to take away your thunder, but he was his sponsor or your Eagle mentor. So when you look at the pictures of the project that Justin did down in Melville, Mr. Nichols was right there with him, kind of guiding him through that and helping him. But Mr. Nichols is an amazing man. I mean, everybody in the troop, I think, loves him. He knows the outdoors. If you want to know anything about outdoor and equipment and get the straight scoop on anything, Mr. Nichols is the one doing it. Now, he's not here tonight, is he? I haven't seen him. Is he here?
In the back.
Oh, there he is, keeping a little profile during the ceremony. Thank you. Rick, you're another guy that I think all the scouts really look up to. Stoic, you run most of the camps and stuff like that, and your knowledge is just immense, I think, associated with a lot of things, robotics, engineering, all that sort of stuff, but certainly from the scouting program. So last thing, Mr. Mostert, the amount of time that you spend, not just with the scouts at meetings, but with each and every individual scout is amazing. And he takes time not to meet at camps, not to meet at meetings with individual scouts. They come to his house. And I know Justin has spent a lot of hours over there, and it's been immense thank you. It's been a community, I think, in bringing this along, so I truly appreciate that. Donna, Chris, both of you guys, you know, working behind the scenes, running the council and stuff like that, and all the other adult support, it's greatly appreciated. I mentioned Justin about, you know, coming here and starting out as in the troop, and really kind of, I think, loving it and accelerating it. Mr. Mostert will talk about his accomplishments in the troops, I think. I think my perspective is a little bit to talk about my son in scouting, I think, kind of as I see it, and where I see Justin going with having that Eagle badge and what that means to us. Like I said, I mean, we came here, he started right off the bat trying to work really hard, but I knew that Justin was going to go places before that. A couple of examples, we were down at Woods Hole, and we had just gotten there, and his father-in-law had come up and visited us from South America, and they went out riding on a bike. And I was just a few minutes away, and my father-in-law, his grandfather, started to have some, couldn't breathe, was having some sort of an attack. Now, I was only a few minutes away from my office up to the house and stuff like that, so I got word real quick. I'm running up there. By the time I had gotten up there, Justin had control of the whole situation. He had called the ambulance. Now, my father-in-law only speaks Spanish, okay? He had called the ambulance. He had gotten down the end of the street, guided the ambulance up into the house, worked with them, communicated with, between the EMS guys and my father-in-law was trying to communicate with them what was wrong, and then got in the ambulance with him and took care of him at the hospital throughout the whole time. Later on, I got here, and he's at school. I think this was in middle school here, first year here. And I got a call one day from I think it was the vice principal. And he called me up, she called me up, and we hadn't heard anything about this. And they were so proud of Justin. And Justin never mentioned anything coming home, but what had happened was an individual, somebody in the classroom, had actually brought, I think, a weapon to school. And Justin knew exactly what to do. He understood the procedures, and he notified the right people, and he kept it kind of a low profile. And the school was real good. I think they communicated with all the parents and all stuff, what was going on. I believe there was an accident that he didn't know he had it in his backpack or something like that, but there was a weapon at school, and it was taken care of. But it was Justin's actions, I think, that brought that to the people's attention and that moved that thing forward. You know, as a parent, growing up, seeing Justin grow up, you kind of go through some different phases. I think a lot of us have experienced this, but we all want our children to do better than we did. And we work hard to push them towards that, I think, early on, particularly in their early teen years. You know, right when Justin was coming into scouts and stuff like that, 13 or 14. It's a struggle, you know. But he did say he got there on his own, really. But there was kind of a transition in that battle of Justin, I want to help you. He's like, no, I can do it by my own. I know what I'm doing. To a transition where all of a sudden you realize, hey, he's going to make it. He's making the right decisions in life. He's managing his time real well. He's doing real well in school, and he is going to do better than me. And that's a good feeling, okay? For a certain amount of time, that is. Because shortly after that, he then realizes that he's going to do better than me. And he doesn't let you forget it. And it's actually a wonderful thing. Justin, I am so proud of you, and on behalf of the whole family here, you know, you've worked hard at this, and we're so proud of you in making Eagle and moving forward in the future ahead of you. I'd like to thank all the people that are here. Ethan, just a little bit about the candle that's up here right now that you lit. And Mr. Mostert kind of told us about this, but then the Spirit of Scouting candle, what happens with that is, just although my father was in the Boy Scouts, and this is why you were in 56, okay? I think my father was in the Boy Scouts about 30 years before that, 20, 30 years before that, during the Great Depression and stuff. So if you guys want to hear some interesting stories about Boy Scout, I don't want to put you on the spot, but he can tell you what it was like back then. A little bit different, I think. But that candle there, Ethan, Justin is the first, I think, Eagle Scout in our family. And I'm not to put the pressure on you, but hopefully someday you will make it. I know you've got the ability to do that. But that candle, the spirit of scouting, that gets passed down to the next Eagle Scout in the family. So we're gonna have it engraved and stuff with Justin on there, and then hopefully we'll move it on to you. So if you do it, Ethan, not to put the pressure on you, buddy. But, okay.
You know, I could try and embarrass him, but that would be hard to do because Justin checked in and he was probably 13, darn near 14. He was going on about 40. Very mature, big, strong, and just every value you can imagine. He did move quickly, and he got serious about the program and learning the skills and doing things and advancing, and he was always putting himself forth for various and sundry projects, leadership positions, which I'm going to come to. And so we watched him move and grow, I mean, in real time, right in front of our eyes. He's also one of the scouts, one of the few scouts. He's been a member of 2 patrols because Justin will turn 18 this October. So age-wise, he's kind of a penguin patrol, which is now aged out and gone on to the great college land and beyond, or one of the Ninja Frogs. And so we put him in the penguin patrol. Then it turns out that his grade, because of his birthday, really had him in the grade with the polar bears. So I think you have the distinction of being the oldest polar bear and, I don't know, perhaps the youngest penguin. So he's now finishing up in the polar bear patrol. I want to focus on a couple of things about Justin's march through scouting. He's held a bunch of leadership positions, but 2 that I want to talk about are quartermaster and senior patrol leader. Quartermaster, as most of the guys in the audience here who are or have been the quartermaster can quickly tell you, it is the hardest, most invisible job in the troop. If they do it very well, you just know that things work. It's not a visible thing. But if a quartermaster doesn't do his job, and you don't have the tents, and you don't have the stoves, and you don't have blah, blah, all the other things, it can make for a really bad camping trip. And we've logged a couple of those, so we kind of know whereof we speak. Justin was an excellent quartermaster, and from there he ran for senior patrol leader and became senior patrol leader. Had a great term as senior patrol leader. Took the troop through an entire term leading the off term. You were not the Yagoo senior patrol leader, but the other one started the year, took us through the cold weather tune-up, took us through a lot of different things. And he did it well. Justin planned well. And he also, when it came time for Eagle project, and he talked to me about his project, it seemed like he wanted, and I thought the perfect match was George Nichols. George is methodical, he's organized. If you want a project done properly, you go to George Nichols and ask him to do it. And if you want somebody to teach a youth how to do it, we medicate him up, and then he does that, and he does it incredibly well. He worked with Justin, he ran heavy equipment, he spent hours upon hours. Justin worked his fingers to the bone, and the Melville ceremonial ring that you talk about, if you ever get out there, take the time and go out and look at it. It's really a wonderful project. Justin is a role model for Boy Scouts. He's also, as you know, Dad is a retired Coast Guard captain. Justin's applying for various service academies and different programs that would lead to being a commissioned officer in the military. And I think that's a natural fit for him. Justin and I, on the political spectrum, we are, I wouldn't say we're opposites. I think our goals and values are virtually identical, but as you get, you see that. He can discuss just about any current issue, any political issue, and he can hold his own in arguments. And it's been a pleasure to be part of some of them for the last few years. Will our special guest, Mr. Norman Hoyt, Eagle Class of 1956, please come forward and administer the oath.
I affirm or reaffirm my allegiance to the 3 promises of the Scout Oath.
I reaffirm my allegiance to the 3 promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout.
the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to make my training an example
to make my training an example
and my status and influence
in my status and my influence.
count strongly for better scouting
Count strongly for better scouting
and for better citizenship in my troop,
and for better citizenship in my troop,
in my community,
in my community,
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
To this I pledge my sacred honor. The power vested in me by the Boy Scouts of America, Narragansett Council, the Southeast Service Area, and Troop 82, I redub you Eagle Scout. Congratulations. Now, Justin, your parents and family have undoubtedly been your primary source of help and strength. And so now I'm going to give you the mother's pin to present to your mom. Here's the mother's pin, complete with the backer. Okay. And the father's pin, also complete. All right, Justin has had many mentors in the troop, but he would like to present a pin and recognize one very special mentor.
So as Mr. Mostert said, I have had a lot of mentors, but this is going to go to my father, because he's done the most.
Thanks. His certificate. It says the Boy Scouts of America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Justin B. Perry, Troop 82, Portsmouth, Rhode Island, in recognition of successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank, February 4th, 2014, and it's signed by the BSA President, the Honorary President, the Chief Scout Executive, and the Commissioner. And it is basically the certificate, and then it also has the Eagle Medal.
And by the way, the honorary president is the President of the United States of America, President Obama's signature. Well, Justin, congratulations.
So I'd like to thank everybody for being here today, especially Mr. Savini, who's representing the town of Portsmouth, who's helped a lot with advancing the scouting. I'd like to thank everybody who works to make the scouting organization possible, especially the scouters and their families for letting their parents and their spouses come out and camp with us for weeks at a time sometimes. It really means a lot, and I hope you guys understand the effect that it has on a lot of people's lives and our society.